Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're seeing my video for the first time, you're welcome. My name is Juliet. Kindly consider subscribing. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I made this lovely dress with one shoulder and puffy sleeves using the Canadian smoking technique. If you're interested, please keep on watching. This first part is going to cover the upper part of the dress while the lower part will be in a different video, and then the sleeve in another video. All the links will be in the description box. Here I have my fabric is folded into two using the bust measurement I'm working with divided by 4 plus extra 5 inches. Now the shoulder to the half length I added extra 1 inch to that, and this is what we have here. So here now I am marking the shoulder measurement I'm working with divided by 2, and I came down to mark the same shoulder divided by 2. Then I marked the armhole, which was 8 inches, and then I'm connecting with a line like so. After that, I'm going to be marking the shoulder to nipple measurement, and then the shoulder to the under bust measurement like so. I'll mark the same thing on this other end and then use my ruler to connect the both points into a straight line. So after that, I will be marking the bust span measurement, that's the nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 plus half inch for allowance. After that, I will connect into a straight line like so. Then up here, I mark 3 inches in, and then I'm marking half inch on the armhole side. It's going to slant, that will be for the shoulder slant. Then on the under bust line, I went out by 1.5 inch, and then I connected to the length of the upper part. And then from that nipple to nipple line, I came in by half inch, and I connected that point to the bust point. So using my curve ruler now, I am making a curve to the bust line like so. Next on the armhole point, I measured and I got the middle, and then on that midpoint I came in by half inch, and then I connected back to the shoulder point, and then I used my armhole curve to complete the armhole curving. So next I'm going to connect from the bust point to that mid armhole like so, and then I will mark 1 inch on both sides of the midpoint, and I'll connect back to the bust point like so. After that, I will extend to the lower leg of the dart by 2.5 inches, and then from that point I will make a new curve for the armhole. Next we're going to be cutting starting with the shoulder slant. You notice I didn't mark any neckline. We're going to be doing that later. And this is it for the front piece. We're going to go pad these pieces and then cut lining for the both of them. But first let's cut the back. So for the back piece as well, it's folded into two using the bust measurement divided by 4 plus extra 5 inches. First we are going to be marking the zip allowance, which is 1.5 inch. I marked that all the way down, and then I connected with my ruler. So next now from that zip line, we'll be marking the shoulder divided by 2, and then the armhole, which I used 8, I connected that into a straight line like so, and then from the zip line again. So when you're working on the back piece, all your measurements start from the zip line. So I went on to slant the shoulder using 1/2 inch just like I did in the front, and then we're going to be covering the armhole as well using the same technique we used for the front. Come in 1/2 inch, connect to the shoulder, and then complete the curve using the armhole curve. So next we are going to tighten the back. I went in by 0.75 inch, and then I slanted it out. I didn't really measure the point where my slant to be. I just used my eyes to gauge that. Then from that zip line, I marked the that point, which is the bust span measurement divided by 2 plus 1/2 inch. Next, I'm cutting, and you'll notice that I didn't cut the neck for the back as well. Next, we're going to be opening up the back piece into two, and we'll also trim off that slant for the back tightening. And then we will go ahead and mark a new zip line, and I'll take that to the sewing machine now and sew the zip line down, and then we'll be back to continue. So after sewing the zip down, the zip allowance, this is what we have. I've ironed smooth. So I'm placing the right sides together with the front piece like so. Now we're going to cut the one shoulder. So from this point now, already we're going to be using the neck width of 3 inches. So we had already slanted the shoulder from that 3 inches point. So there's an obvious demarcation. If not, you can still just mark from the midpoint to 3 inches. And then I also came down by 3 inches, and then I made a curve. So for the side that's going to fall off the shoulder, I just used the mid armhole, the same place we slanted the princess dart. So I just curved to that point like so, and then we're going to cut with the two pieces together like so. So if you want your the offside deeper, you can take it deeper, but I will not advise that. So from this point now, I came in by 1.5 inch, and then using my armhole curve, I drew a new armhole from that point. This is going to help with balance. Yeah. So whatever we're doing here, we'll do the same for the lining pieces. This is the front pieces, they are padded already. I'll link a video on how to pad a princess dart bustier. The technique is the same. We're going to go now and join the front pieces right sides together, starting from the down part. Very important. And then for the back piece, we are going to be lining it. So I place the lining right sides together. We'll sew the neckline and the zip side. The same for the other back piece. Now after slanting it, this is what the second back piece is looking like. We'll sew the neckline and then the zip line, and this is the front piece all sewn. You see that the other side is a bit longer, so we are going to be trimming it off to complete that point. This is what we have now. So we're going to place the lining on it, right sides together, and go sew the neckline using 1/2 inch. I'm also trimming the armhole of the lining piece as well. After that, this is the back piece. I have ironed it and it's looking clean. So I'm going to place it right sides together and mark the zip. So now we are marking 1 inch. We have used 1/2 inch to turn the lining with the main fabric, and then I already notched the point where the dart will sit. So I am marking 1 inch above the bust point, and that is where the dart will stop. And then I marked the same bust span and connected to the notched parts on the down. So we're going to go sew the darts like so. We will do the same for this other side of the back piece. So marking the 1 inch for the zip allowance, the notch for the dart is already there, 1 inch above the bust point, and then we'll mark the dart with the bust span measurement. And we're going to go so, like so, half inch and then slant out. After that, this is the front, the neckline has been turned, is looking clean. This is the back as well. I've ironed the zip line and the dart point and everything is looking nice and smooth. Next, we're going to mark our measurement, which is the bust divided by 4 at this point. I'm using the back piece, so you start from the zip line. Then on the down part again, the half length round divided by 4. Bust divided by 4, width divided by 4. So we're doing the same thing on this side again. Bust divided by 4, we'll mark up there starting from the zip line, and then the half length round divided by 4 we will mark on the lower part. Opening it up now, we're going to check to be sure that we have half of the waistline down and then half of the bust measurement up. That's from one line to the other. It should be exactly half of your measurement. If not, you'll adjust just like I did. And then next we are going to go sew the pieces together, placing the right sides together, and then we'll go sew on those lines and also the shoulders. Notice that I'm not forcing anything. This is how the shoulders will be sewn, lining to lining and then main fabric to main fabric. You see that the bust area is balanced. I didn't squish it down, I didn't draw, I just allowed the top to guide me. So this excess part on the lower part, I am trimming it off. Don't worry, it's not going to change anything. Our back half length is shorter than the front, so this is just fine. I reduce the seam allowances to about 1.5 inch, and then I am going to turn it to the right side and give it a press. After that, I went ahead to adjust my armhole, trim off to make equal, and then we are going to turn to the right, to the wrong side again, and trim off 1 inch from the back to further eliminate the zip bulge. So on this center back now, I came up by 1 inch. I'm going to make a slant to the side seam. Then I will trim that off. And that is it for the upper part of this dress. So stay tuned for my next video where I'm going to be sharing the lower part of the dress and then the sleeve part in another video. I'll put the links in the description box as soon as they're uploaded. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like this video. Share with your friends.